Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on another episode of Chris's Beer Reviews. I got the Muskoka Harvest Ale to present to you today. As you could tell, this is a gigantic 750 milliliter bottle at 6.4% ABV. Um, Muskoka is well known for their seasonal brews. In Canada, of course, that is. We got the Muskoka's Double Chocolate Cranberry Stout, which just came out again for 2011. You got their summer Weizen beer, which they come out with in the summer. You got the October Fall Harvest beer, and they probably have a spring one, but I'm not too sure if I can remember what that is. Anywho, they all have the same top, and they're all the same size, and the price ranges are usually around $8. Um, Muskoka Harvest Ale was our brewery's pioneering venture into seasonal beers. Now in its third year, our Harvest Ale symbolizes the end of the growing season and the process of gathering mature crops from the fields. Dry hopped and brewed using a selection of premium local ingredients, this ale has a subtle grassy character reminiscent of the freshly cut harvest. It's our way of celebrating another prosperous growing season, and we're proud to share it with you. Gary McMullen. He is the founder. And I didn't realize this, but it says to serve it in a chalice. Okay. It also says to serve it at about 8 degrees. And this has been sitting on my porch. It's fall. I'd say that it's about 8 degrees. I'm just going to switch glasses on you here. My glass is literally seconds beside me. So here it goes. Chalice. All right. Wonderful Chimay chalice. I'm sure you've seen my little collection that's slowly growing beside me. Um, Now, I did have this at one point in time out of pure sheer curiosity, and it's taken me a while to buy it because, you know, I'm not nothing against Muskoka, but you can't win every time, right? And this is one of those brews that I just typically am not a huge fan of. It's just kind of like your traditional, your typical ale. That's basically what it is. So here comes the pop. Nice, nice, nice. And I was absolutely ready for it. It looks gorgeous. It looks scrumptious. You got about a 2 finger head there. Nothing much I could do with that pour. Started to bubble over on me. Like I said, okay, maybe 1.5 finger head here. Got a serious dark mahogany looking color. Definitely makes me think of the fall. And we have an off-white color. There's just like a tingent of, I guess, almost kind of a brownish color in there. Very nice foam. Actually, like the hops that I'm smelling, it's dry hopped. I actually got a little bit of an IPA aroma in there, believe it or not. I've never experienced that one before. Definitely picking up on sort of an IPA aroma in there. So let's dig in and see what the fuss is all about. What was I thinking, actually? This does not taste at all like what I expected. Um, First time I had it, it really didn't taste like this. It's almost like I got a bad brew. Um, I was right with those hops. Very, very uh, comparable to an IPA. Um, definitely, definitely can taste the dry hopped. Um, it's got like for those who don't understand what it means to have a dry beer. The back of your mouth, as much as every beer goes down refreshing, it's kind of like a dry taste at the back of your palate. It's the best way that I can explain it. It's really hard to pick up on beers, but if you were to get a dry champagne or a perfect example, if you were to go and buy Molson Dry, believe it or not, you'll immediately notice the difference. That is how you can tell what a dry taste is. I'm still surprised by this beer. It's actually really good. Very, very nice lace. Head's almost gone. Have a whole other extra beer left in this bottle. This would actually be considered one of those gateway style beers for people who are interested in getting into IPAs, India Pale Ales, because a lot of people kind of stir away from IPAs because you get that. People hate when I say this, but I always refer to a syrupy sort of taste. Um, this the syrupy taste that I'm referring to, it has to do with some of the hops that are in there. First of all, so it's not syrup; it's a hop. Second of all, when I say this reminds me of an IPA, I am specifically talking about the taste of grapefruit and citrusness to it that other beers that don't have outside of the IPA realm. This is purely citrus. I'm starting to get my tongue tied here. Specifically good to introduce people to with IPAs because it doesn't have that hop in there that has that very heavy syrupy taste that stir people away, but it does have that citrusy grapefruit presence. The more I smell it, it's actually got a little bit of sweetness to it. It's quite unbelievable. Honestly, the first time I had this, it tasted just like your typical lager or your typical ale. But this comes off as an IPA. It's really blowing my mind here. I wish there was. Oh, here we go. I got some ingredients. Ontario 2-row malted barley. Didn't really pick up on the barley that much. Crystal malt, Columbus, Cascade, and Amarillo hops. So maybe the Cascade and Amarillo hops are the reason why this doesn't have that other type of hoppy presence to it. It's probably the reason why it's not considered an IPA instead of what it is, which is just your basic ale here. It also says that it's dry hopped with a variety of hops depending on availability. So you can imagine every year this is going to taste a little different because there's a huge shortage of hops out there, and they probably have to play with that a little. It's the best I could say about this beer. Of all 4 seasons of Muskoka Brews, though, I will still stand by my favorite, ultimate double chocolate cranberry stout. And I'll also tell you one thing. I had Muskoka a very long time ago for the first time, a couple times. Some of their, you know, shelf-ready beers that were always on the shelf, and it had this taste to it that I just wasn't a big fan of. I don't know if it was the lake water that they were using. I can't really tell you, but now their seasonal brews are phenomenal. Their new cream ale that came out is phenomenal. Their dark ale came out is phenomenal. They're just starting to hit them off one by one. One by one, they just keep getting better. So Muskoka being as close to Toronto as it is, being a wonderful part of Ontario, it's almost right up there with me with Flying Monkey Breweries as my favorite breweries in Toronto at the moment, or in Ontario for that matter. One thing I can say actually with this Harvest Ale is that I hate to say it, but it kind of resembles the Optical Illusion to me. And I guess for the same way, and that's the fact that the Optical Illusion is an ale, and it considers itself to be an almost pale ale. This harvest is basically almost pale ale. Same deal. So I'm actually quite happy that I was able to purchase this again and give it another chance. So there you have it. Beautiful lace, beautiful beer. I'm going to give this wonderful sucker a 4.4 out of 5, which is quite the generous rating, and that's solely because of the fact that it is such a gateway beer. It is very well rounded in the realm of being almost an IPA, but not quite. And the fact that it's seasonal and they're still able to maintain such amazing quality tastes in their beer. So, Muskoka, I salute you. Thanks for joining me on another one of Chris's beer reviews. Don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly. Cheers, everybody.